Hello everyone, it's Dragon Age Day again today. We are still here in Haven, in this village, somewhere in the Frostback Mountains. And we will be exploring the area in full, gathering some resources, looting some elf roots. I will be doing a lot of looting today, just because we do need these resources. Apothecary. Find recipes through exploration or by visiting merchants. Visit an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Okay.
Thank you for hurrying with the potions. We have so many injured.
We'll get them back on their feet, sister. Don't you worry.
Okay. I do love listening to the interactions. Patient observations, day 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive. Careful drop feed of prepared elf root extract to hasten her recovery. A lot of threshing. Mutters about too many eyes. Something about the gray. Encouraging? So, this is another note written by the person who took care of us.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
Oh, so it's you.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you for taking care of us.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
Let's ask some questions.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are few around who can help.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Do you need any help, or...?
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Okay, so he just repeated that dialogue.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Okay, so that's how we make potions, I guess?
You're back. And in one piece.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Okay, maybe we can go try to find that for him. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Okay, we can try to look around. That is a workbench for potions. Potion assignment and replenishment. You can equip or replenish potions for each party member. Drag potions from the list on the left to the slots. You must replenish potions before you can use them. Healing potions are replenished for free automatically. Okay, so we have a regeneration potion aside from our healing potion. And we need elf roots.
Let me know if you need anything.
For 1 elf root per potion. Oh, okay, we turned in a quest, or completed a quest rather. Potion upgrading. You can upgrade potions you have already unlocked. And to upgrade our healing potion, we need a lot of elf root, and that is why we will be looting a lot of elf root today, as well as other resources that we can find in the wilds, because we will be needing potions once we set out. And yeah, we will be attacked a lot, we will be engaging a lot of people in battle sometime later. Okay, here is another hut. We saw Solus outside, so this must be where he lives.
The chosen of Andraste, the blessed hero sent to save us all.
I hope to be the one.
I didn't ask for this, but someone has to find a way to seal the breach.
Spoken nobly indeed. You think I'm mocking you? This age has made people cynical. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations.
Wow,
I've watched
deep.
as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
Let's ask him a
What do
question.
you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds.
Okay.
When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I still want to do that.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Don't worry. She'll protect you.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Okay. Well, that was a bit awkward. He was like, I will stay then. A little prideful. A little arrogant for me. I didn't like that interaction. Okay, we have a few beds here. They're Randy Dowager Quarterly, a well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue. Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another, the collected dreams of desire being the confessions of an apprentice in training more furrowing than harrowing, forbidden dalliances at the most spirited, Randy Dowager exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says enchanting. One supports the circles, if only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. RD. So this is some sort of a book review of some sort. And I don't know why, but it seems like it's an erotica. The book Dreams of Desire seems to be an erotica about dalliances, affairs in a circle between apprentice mages and perhaps Templars. Okay then, I guess. Okay, what else is in this hut? Nothing. Okay, so they're just praying.
Then the voice of the Maker rang out. The first word.
Their creation myth, I guess. And this is the tavern. Pretty cozy.
You all right, sir?
Of course. now all of them are dead.
That's for sister.
Yes.
Dragon Age Inquisition like has a lot of really good songs. Tavern music, definitely.
It's just what I
Okay. What can I find here?
Tell me about this area.
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harris is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Cedric. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Okay, thank you
Farewell.
for
Bye.
the tip. Yeah, I like this song. This is one of the many songs that I like in this game. A Tale of the Frostbacks. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth, the mountain father, kept his throne at the peak of Belenas, the mountain at the center of the world. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it. But without his heart, the mountain father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavor, music had no sweetness. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and the strongest flyers, to scour the mountains for the missing heart. And for a year and a day, the little bird traveled deep into the frostbacks, the ptarmigan bird. When she could not fly, she crawled, she hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the god's terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff, and shattered. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so it could never again escape. Okay, so the smallest bird, called the ptarmigan, was able to find the heart of the mountain father, I guess. Varric.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I'm okay, I guess, but I feel sad
I don't even want
about
to
the
think about
people
how many
who
lives were
died.
lost on that mountaintop.
A lot of good men and women didn't make it out of there. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
Why did you stay
If it was
here?
that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
Yeah, I think we were lucky.
It's pure luck that I escaped.
Good luck or bad? You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky... that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
He's a very caring person. Yeah, he doesn't want us to get in trouble.
Good day. Or good as it could be with the sky ripped apart.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those
Oh, that's
blasted
really
demons
sad.
destroyed most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
Oh, well, that's a
You must
noble
speak with
thing
most
to
everyone
do.
here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an Inquisition is called. Yet. I imagine it's no better for you. You've got my sympathies, for what it's worth.
Okay, so what if we want
Can
to
I
buy
see what
something?
you have for sale?
Of course. My wares are at the table.
Okay, he has plenty of swords here on his table. There. Okay, he's got a wide assortment of different weapons. He's got shields, daggers, broadaxe. I don't think we need to buy anything at this moment. We might want to sell some stuff. But we don't have that much to sell either. So yeah, let's take a look at. Ooh, that looks nice. I like that. But that is 75 gold and we only have 502. What else does he have? We have upgrades for Varric's crossbow, Bianca. I'm not sure if we should buy that right now. Probably not. We'll probably come across upgrades later, or we can just buy them once we've gathered enough coins, or more than enough coins. Right now we only have 500 too.
Why we need to build siege equipment? We're not laying siege to anything.
That's an excellent point, recruit. But if someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it will be best for us to have some means to fight back.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, sir.
Construction orders. As you know from the terrible accidents last week, many passages through the mountain are unstable and liable to collapse at any moment. I do not wish us to lose more brothers and sisters in the search for the lost cultist treasure. We must seal all entrances into the mountain. The Templars have done a careful sweep of the caves. Everything of worth was collected. What remains of the disciples of Andraste will be forgotten, buried in the earth. Once it is done, let us have no more talk of them. This is a new haven, restored to life by the true Chantry and most holy Justinia the Fifth. Okay, so like we said in our first episode, Haven used to be a village of cultists. Siege equipment in Thedas. Siege weaponry has been used in Thedas for centuries, with primitive equipment used as far back as the Third Blight. Nevertheless, it occupies a peculiar niche in the tools of warfare due to its requirements. Most armies who fulfilled such requirements did not take advantage of the situation. During the Third Blight, for example, Arlisans and Monstermort constructed catapults to fling flaming debris at the Darkspawn, but the expense of the weapons did not justify the limited damage they caused, and the Darkspawn were ultimately driven back by the Grey Wardens, not siege weaponry. Tevinter forces similarly had the resources to construct siege weapons when attacking the Free Marchers or defending themselves against the exalted marches of the Black Age. Instead, the Imperium focused primarily upon the power of its magisters, its powerful mages, who were less powerful but more flexible than siege equipment. As a result, in the battles against the Kunari and the Steel Age, generals found to their chagrin that the great Oxman that left them behind. Kunari black powder is, most military experts agree, not magic. It is merely an advanced alchemy. Nevertheless, there remains hope. As centuries have passed since the last blight, and mages are now safely held in the circles where they harm none, the experts of Ferreld and Orlais may once again turn their great minds to learning. We need no magic, not where the minds of men survive unfettered. With our resources and our commitment to knowledge, we can easily surpass the brutal Kunari on the field of battle. Okay, so that's a little lore. A bit of lore about siege weaponry. The universe that we're in, or rather
Who are we
the...
fighting anyway, sir? I've heard it was mages, demons. No one really knows.
That's the Maker's truth. All you need to know is that we're holding this place against whoever comes to take it.
Okay. Okay, I think this was one of the many passages that goes deep into the mountains, kind of like under the mountain. And that was where the cultists, the disciples of Andraste, lived and congregated. And this was in Dragon Age 1, if I'm not mistaken. So, Origins.
I apologize for what I said earlier.
It's nothing. Now, Scout Pallane, what can you tell me of Redcliffe?
The mages have been quiet since their attack on the Conclave.
Their attack? Do you have information confirming that the mages were responsible?
Well, I had assumed.
Don't. Our job is to acquire actionable information. Assumptions can lead you to overlook something vital.
Okay, so I presume that is one of Liliana's scouts mentoring a new recruit on how to be a proper scout. There is no room for assumptions. We shouldn't jump into conclusions if we're scouts. Instead, we just need to gather information and be neutral about it. I love how cozy the huts, the interiors look in this game.
How could that great breach not have been caused by the mages?
It is reasonable to believe that magic was involved, but we cannot assume it was the rebels. Many powerful mages died. Whose deaths benefit the rebels?
I'm not sure.
Good. Now you're thinking. That's a start.
What's your name, anyway?
You may call me Charter, Scout Pallane. Now lower your eyes.
Okay. Yeah, this game is has plenty of interactions between NPCs, and it's always delightful to take a breather, just stand and take pause for a moment and listen to their interactions. It's like Mass Effect.
See reason, Lisette.
Yes.
Oops. I didn't mean to interact with her. I
will
wanted
talk
to
to you
listen to
later.
her conversations with her friend here. Oh well. Okay. We've got a schematic for a shield.
Yes.
I'd like your take on the Templar
Oh,
Order.
she is a
It's a shadow
Templar.
of what it was. Where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
Alright.
You're not going to rejoin the Order?
When the temple went up, your forces rescued those few of us still alive. My life is a debt I intend to repay, however I can.
Do you have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get you closer to the important meetings. Though that distance did save my life.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
Okay. So we've met our first Templar. And what we have here are Inquisition soldiers training. It's good to see that they are making the most of their time. Another big chest of loot here. As I was saying, Thetis is... I can't remember exactly if it's the name of the continent or the world that we live in, because in Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls, Tamriel is just the name of the continent, and there are many other continents and islands all around. Okay, we can press V to search. This is our kind of like a
There must be something here.
raider here. Okay, I guess there's something inside this hut. Twing, twing. I like that sound. It gives me a lot of dopamine. Oh, okay. So that was the note that the alchemist Adan needed. This was his master, his mentor's hut, I guess. But unfortunately, he was one of the casualties at the conclave. Didn't make it. But Adan will benefit from his notes about how to heal, because, as he said, he isn't really a healer. He's more of an alchemist. Oh! A nug! A nuggy nuggy nuggy. A nug is kind of like a, is it a bunny? A hairless bunny. It looks like a bunny that has, the skin of a pig, I'd say. Let's just make a save here, because I can't. Oh, okay, so that just brings us to the world map. For now, we only have Haven here on our map, because this is the location. This is the only location so far that we have access to. More elf fruit here, because we really need to stock up on elf fruit. We need them for healing and regeneration potions, and we'll see a lot of battle once we leave Haven. Let's try to chase this nug. They're really cute. Yes, so as I was saying, the name of this world, if I'm not mistaken, it's either this world or this continent, I'll have to look it up later to confirm, is Thedas.
Why not? Because we're Templars.
What does that even mean anymore? That we splinter and fight amongst ourselves instead of protecting the mages?
Better that than stay here with this Inquisition.
You're awfully quick to dismiss the people who saved your life, Matrin.
Yeah. Like, at least be grateful. I mean, if you really don't want to be part of the Inquisition, sure, but don't try to force your friend over there who still wants to help and serve. So, Thedas is where we is right now. Specifically, the Frostback Mountains. And in Dragon Age Origins, I believe it was set in Ferelden, which is, I think, northeast of this area. Because the mountains, the Frostback Mountains, they're situated in the kind of like the south and center part of the world map. To our northwest, if I'm not mistaken, is Orlais, which is a country that is kind of like French. A lot of them sound French. They are very, well, there are also, working class, but Orlais is known for its ostentatious parties, balls, the rich people, the nobles, who wear masks, while our northeast, the area northeast of where we are right now, is called the country of Ferelden. Kind of like, I would say, medieval Britain. And then we also have other countries further north, like the Free Marches, which is north of Ferelden, and I believe they are what do you call them? Like city-states. They are a collection of city-states. And our character here is part of a noble family from one of the city-states called Ostwick. I think the setting of Dragon Age 2 was in Kirkwall, which is one of the city-states of the Free Marches. Okay, this leads to I think the Temple of Sacred Ashes, where we were in the previous episode, where the conclave was supposed to be held. Okay, readable. The Penitent's Crossing. Pilgrims seeking to visit the Temple of Sacred Ashes are allowed to ride as far as this bridge, known as the Penitent's Crossing. Then, whether they be sick or healthy, young or aged, the pilgrims are expected to walk by the temple sisters who supervise the bridge. All but the very sick and old are asked to shed heavy coats as they cross. The bridge is also of significant military value, used specially for these purposes in the years since the Fifth Blight, as a choke point against bandits, rebels, or even the Darkspawn stragglers. The bridge serves as... Okay. So... I guess we were right. That bridge leads to the Temple of Sacred Ashes. That was where we were last episode, and in order to get to Haven we had to cross the bridge to get back. But because we lost consciousness last episode, we probably had to be carried all the way back to Haven by, I don't know, probably we were probably on a wagon or something. Much like in Skyrim. A carriage, a wagon. Okay, another hut. That looks cozy. And I think we have the smithy here. More schematics for swords. Oh, ooh, ooh, oh. And who is this? Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to interact with you.
Everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear
I'm
fit?
butting into your conversation.
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragon bone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy? Bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, let's ask
did
him
you
about
come
his,
to be?
himself.
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when Royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boot. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still lucky, probably. Because you survived.
You're still walking. That's always
Yes.
good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Okay.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Can you
help
improve
my arms and armor?
my cup?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Alright.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk.
Okay.
You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Okay, so that just
Bye.
means we have a tutorial here for making our own armor modification. Upgrading an item adds the upgrade stats to the item stats in addition to changing its appearance. So this is what he mentioned earlier. Oh, that looked a bit daring. Okay, so some of these equipment, some of these armor, they're from the DLC, I think. Kind of like a deluxe edition type of. Oh, we leveled up. And this is the workbench where we can craft our own equipment, armor, or weapon. So, as I was saying, that other workbench is where we can install the modifications into our armor or weapon, because we can pick up some additional parts, I guess, and we can't just, you know, attach a part into our weapon or armor, a new part, without having to visit this workbench, or rather the workbench before this. Here we are trying to craft our defender mail, the armor schematic that he gave us. Each crafting material, each stone here gives a different stat, I would say. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, gave me a vigorous defender mail. And we've made our first armor. We will not be using the DLC extra deluxe edition freebies because I feel like, I don't know, I guess some gamers do that, but I feel like I wanna be able to experience the game as it was intended before the freebies were implemented, I'd say. Yeah, it's kind of odd. Oops. Okay, I guess someone's talking. I find it a bit odd that shields are under weapons. I don't know. Maybe it's how it's supposed to be, but I feel like it's more like an armor type of thing. But maybe it is a weapon because you hold it with your hand. You hold it in your hand, so I guess it's a weapon. I'm just gonna go here to see if we can trigger the dialogue that we missed. I guess it didn't trigger. That's okay. How about these two here? They're looking.
You've seen our mounts. Most of them should be pulling plows.
Didn't all grow up with fancy noble horses, Arnsberg. You ride whatever holds you. Why are you here with the scouts instead of bobbing around with the nobles anyway?
My uncle died at the conclave. I'm a good rider, and, well, I thought I'd be more useful here.
We'll see.
Okay, I guess it's like that is our horse stable, but right now we don't have horses yet. Okay, let's go back into the village proper. Let's see if there are other NPCs that we have to talk to. Because at this moment, just exploring, seeing what this village has and see if we can collect some quests.
Do you think the mages will be able to seal the breach?
I heard some speak of using the Templars instead.
Oh.
Suppose that would work as well.
She didn't like that. She's like, oh. And it's like that TikTok sound, like the ooh.
No, my lady, I don't know where the other nobles are. I suggest you ask Ambassador Montillier. Oh, you're her.
Ah, it's
Inquisition
me.
Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Okay. What do you do here?
here?
Oh.
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies.
We said the
and
same
iron in
exact
their
thing
hands.
as the dialogue.
Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier.
Oh.
Best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition.
Oh,
It was a
that
kindness.
guy.
She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Okay, let's take a neutral stance here, because I don't.
With that attitude, I can't imagine how you made enemies in Denerim.
People just don't want to hear the truth.
Sarcastic.
I was at Ostagar, and I know what really happened. King Kaelan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting the signal.
We chose the
Following
sarcastic
original plan would
option.
have gotten everyone killed. Ten Loghain made the right decision. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this.
Politics.
Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Okay.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
So we have a Loghain supporter here. Okay, these are the requisitions. This is how we can help our group,
Thanks for checking
our
anyway.
cause. And we've completed a quest, which I think was to speak with all of the Haven NPCs, to get to know them. Our smithy, our blacksmith, our
So if we get
merchant,
better horses, you think that'll make a difference?
and our
Master
quartermaster.
Dennett's horses in the hinterlands are faster and stronger than anything we've got here. A good horse can make all the difference. The mare I grew up with saved my life. She died when the demons attacked.
I'm sorry.
Feels silly to mourn a horse, with all the people we've lit pyres for.
Well, like you said.
Yes, and that's why we need
So,
to
you're one of those
buy some horses.
Can you enchant rooms and such?
I have not studied those skills.
Ah, pity. Well, at least you won't be causing any trouble or getting possessed.
No.
A tranquil, okay. And tranquil is a mage that let's just say they didn't do well in their during their harrowing, which is kind of like a what do we call this? Kind of like a test, like a final test. And unfortunately,
How do you think they'll close that huge hole in the sky?
Ally with the Templars,
Okay.
I'd imagine?
some
See the
more
Wicked Magic.
dialogue here.
What about the rebel mages?
Rebel mages probably made that damn breach.
The best way I can explain tranquils are mages who, I guess they were deemed kind of like vulnerable to demon possession. So their connection to the Fade, whoops, yeah, was severed, basically. So they don't dream anymore, and neither can they use magic. But because of their mage training, they still work in the circle. Not anymore. I think I'm pretty okay with it. It doesn't hurt anymore.
It's stopped spreading, and it doesn't hurt.
We take our victories where we can. What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
That could be dangerous.
Couldn't that kind of power just make things worse?
And people call me a pessimist.
Okay, then.
May I present Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
Such as they are, we lost many soldiers in the valley, and I fear many more before this is through.
This is Lady
Nice to meet you.
Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
Hello there.
I've heard much. It's a pleasure to meet you at last.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes.
Direct to the point. A pleasure to meet all of you.
Pleased to meet you all.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree.
Oh.
The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander.
So we need
Enough
to
magic poured into
choose
that
between
mark.
Templars and mages.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
They still think I'm guilty.
That is not the entirety of it any longer.
Oh, really?
Some are calling you the Herald of Andraste, and that frightens the Chantry.
It's blasphemy.
The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy.
Yeah, exactly.
And we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading...
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
I'm not really sure. It's a bit awkward.
It's a little unsettling.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign. And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
Are we in danger?
Will the Chantry attack us?
With what? They have only words at their disposal.
And yet, they may bury us with them. There is something you can do.
What is it?
A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you.
Oh.
She is not far, and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Okay. Let's go talk to her.
I'll see what she has to say.
You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
Yes, we shall.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. We're not going to be alone in this endeavor. Okay, this is the war table. Orlais, known for its culture of extravagant nobility and also the birthplace of the Chantry, is the most powerful human country. Conquered by Orlais, torn by civil war, ravaged by the Fifth Blight, Ferelden is no stranger to hardship. The land is more turbulent now that Deauville is weakened. The Inquisition can unlock new areas for us to explore through scouting operations. That is what we are going to do now. Mother Giselle was last seen in the hinterlands outside Redcliffe, tending refugees who fled the fighting between renegade Templars and apostate mages. The latest reports suggest that the vicious struggle between the two groups has spread to the hinterlands, catching the refugees in the middle. It is vital to protect her and, if possible, okay. Ooh. Yay! Sending a message? To, Mother Giselle? We avoided the fighting as best we could. It's every bit as bad as we'd feared. The apostates are mad, attacking anything that moves. It appears that the Templars here aren't following anyone's orders any longer. We located Mother Giselle. We're trying to protect her, but she refused to leave the refugees until we've ensured their safety. Commander Cullen asked me to make inquiries of Master Dennett, a retired horse master of Redcliffe who lives in the area. This was the report by Scout Harding. Here we can choose our party mates, but because we only have 3 at our disposal right now, we have no choice but to choose all 3. You can go alone, but that's just gonna make it more difficult than it already is. And this is our first explorable
World
region.
of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. It's an honor to meet you, my lady. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. All of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Harding, huh? Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding in...
Harding in
No,
Hightown,
never
like
mind.
the title of his book, Hard in Hightown. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get to business. The situation's pretty dire. We came to secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't be able to hold out very long. You best get going. No time to lose.
Okay, thanks for the full report, Scout Harding, who we just met there. Let's make a save. Was Scout Lace Harding, and she is gonna be one of the companions in the next game, which is Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Not Dreadwolf anymore. They changed the title. And yes, we will be spending more time with her in the next game. And here is our first camp in the hinterlands. Let's check our requisitions. Okay, we have the Inquisition weapons requisition. Well, unfortunately, we can't complete that yet because we don't have a logging camp. We do need wood to make weapons.
Dispatch for you. What is it? This may be worthwhile.
Okay, what do we have here? Hinterlands cage requisition. What do we need cages for? Are we imprisoning people? But we do need locks for that, so we have to collect more locks, Ferelden locks. Speaking of Ferelden, we are currently in the hinterlands, which is a major part of Ferelden, the country of Ferelden that I was talking about earlier. This was the setting, at least like the country itself, like several parts of the country of Ferelden served as the setting for... Okay, so we do have a couple of things here. That is our main quest. And this map is, I'd say, the biggest region, explorable region in this game. There is this running joke where it's like, this is, never mind, it was a joke that I saw on YouTube like probably 2 weeks ago when they released the trailer, the official trailer for the new Dragon Age game, and someone wrote in the comments something like, "Whoa, apostates." You know, okay, what is this? Okay, this is our first battle. Let's go. Yeah, like someone in the comments section of the trailer, official. Oh my, what happened? Their soulless just died. That by the time that the game is out, the game is released, that we'd probably have left or almost close to leaving the hinterlands, because that's just how big this area is. We might be close to leaving the hinterlands. Okay, we've got a letter here. Stronghold of the apostate mages. Let the fools in Redcliffe play the good mage, as they always do. We know the truth. This world is ours to conquer. And every worthless peasant who threw a stone, every Templar who glared in disappointment at our harrowing, deserves to know it. Follow the trail to the Witchwood and find your brothers. An unsigned letter. Scratch handwriting was sloppy. Okay. So as you can see here, we are in control of all 4 characters, our own character, our protagonist, and 3 companions. Astrariums, regarding your inquiry regarding the so-called... That is redundant. Regarding your inquiry regarding the so-called Astrariums, it is our considered belief that these are relics from a cult that existed in the pre-Andrastian era of the Tevinter Imperium. Now, what would be considered a cult in a society that is worship the old gods. There they would lock away their secrets, caches of treasure, and perhaps even secret meeting places. According to our investigations, each of the astrariums could point to the secret cache if one knew the 3 constellations that mapped to each device present at the site. Connected dwellers? Dwellers in the correct configuration, and it would be revealed many of these relics were sought out by Andrastian cultists in the early Divine Age, because they believed that Astrariums held together the Veil, and destroying them would destroy the Veil and thus the world, such as the way of the cults of any kind. Okay, so this is a mini game. If you played Mass Effect, you would know that, well, in my experience, Mass Effect Andromeda had mini games too. And Dragon Age Inquisition also has, I think, two mini, kind of like mini games. For this one, we have to connect the dots, but make sure that we only go in one direction, kind of like we're not going to be touching the dot. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, Constellation Judex. It's depicted as a downturned sword. The Constellation Judex is often called the Sword of Mercy in common parlance. Obviously, with its modern meaning and used as a symbol of the Templar Order, the old interpretation is frowned upon in scholarly circles. So, basically, we shouldn't be touching the dots twice. We can only touch it once. And it just leads us to another Astrarium, if I'm not mistaken, and we have to kind of like triangulate, and the point in the middle is where we can collect treasure, I think, if I remember correctly. Okay, more. Who are these? Sellsword. Yeah, so the combat here is kind of. The first time I played this, I was really confused.
The fighting
I
between
got
the mages and the Templars has cost too many innocent lives.
true. That's really sad. I got so confused. It took me a long time to figure out how to do this because it's quite different.
Not every dwarf likes caves.
From the games that I've played, or that I played before Inquisition. But yeah, it is a harder game. It's a more difficult game than, let's say, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, but it's still fun, and I do love listening to the banter between our companions here. And Varric is a dwarf who doesn't like being in caves. He doesn't like being in the deep roads because it's just who he is, and he's a surface dwarf. A lure found on a dead dwarf, and you need to check a cave up in the hills of the path between Redcliffe and Haven if you can get past the okay. Okay, this is our first Ferelden lock. We need to complete this specific requisition. Yes, I was saying, the hinterlands is quite big. It will definitely take us days, episodes, at least 5 episodes, probably, to fully explore it and finish, or rather complete all side quests. And yeah, the country of Ferelden. A lot of places in Ferelden served as settings for Dragon Age Origins. And Dragon Age 2 was set in the Free Marches, particularly in Kirkwall. It was mostly set in Kirkwall, as well as the wilderness surrounding that area. And for this game, Inquisition, we will be coding around both Orlais and Ferelden. There will be a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, like around 7 explorable regions. The biggest of which is the hinterlands, as I've mentioned a couple of times already. Okay, we're fighting our first Templar. So, just to make it clear, these Templars that we're killing are kind of like renegade Templars. They're not like the real Templars. They're like, they went rogue basically during the onset of the war between the mages and the Templars. Okay, this is just a treasure. We don't really need to, I don't think we need to memorize the sketch, because usually what happens is the character, one of the companions that we have here, will just say, let's take a look around, or let's search the area, which signifies that there is a treasure, a hidden treasure in that area. So I do like the exploration here, because I'm not very good at hunting for treasures. I'm not very good at doing that. So I benefit more from audio cues from companions or from my own character. And this is our first rift. We do have demons here, shades, that we have to defeat before we can close this rift. And there are many rifts that we'll need to close in the entire game. And they are very challenging. And Dragon Age Inquisition is a game that doesn't do level scaling. It doesn't have level scaling, so sometimes if a certain rift or a certain encounter proves impossible or too challenging, then that just means that we need to save that for later. But thankfully, this is because we're in the tutorial. I wouldn't say tutorial, like one of the
your part in the tale of the champion
one of the
barrack.
beginning areas, so I think we can handle it.
Bore people.
You don't want to incriminate yourself, you mean?
Oh, same thing, really.
But oh, here we have a character.
Templar
Here.
bastards killed my husband and stole the ring from his finger. They deserve to die.
You're saying the Templars attacked your husband?
Aye. He was digging out a stump. The fools couldn't tell a shovel from a mage's staff. Had to be safe, they said. Rebels everywhere attacking by surprise, sick bastards. They took the ring I
That's
gave
really
him on our
sad.
wedding day in case it was magic.
Farewell.
Some of these Templars, like these renegade or rogue Templars, they're just too violent. They would attack anyone thinking that they're mages too, just because that woman's husband was farming, I guess. And this is why we are I wouldn't say exterminate, that's mean. But kind of like we find ourselves engaged in fights with these Templars because they're not the nicest people. Just these specific, rogue Templars. Let's try to get some abilities so that we can be more efficient in battle. And then we are also going to be encountering mages. And those mages are just basically like the, I also say like rogue mages. They were too cooped up in their circles and they experienced abuse by the Templars. So when the mages rebelled, instead of joining the mages in, I can't remember where they are, a Red Cliff probably, they just roam the woods and raid people, and they became raiders, and some of them would just kill whoever. I think in this game they are called apostates. But as Solus said, every mage is an apostate now.
Renegade Templars faced a mage of any talent.
Okay then. Don't be too proud of yourself, Solus. You can be a bit too arrogant sometimes. He likes to pat himself on the back. Yeah, like he said in the previous episode. Oops. Okay, that still didn't hit him. Solus said something like, we are like, all mages now are apostates, because in the past, when the mages were still in circles, apostate mages referred to those who are kind of like renegades. They refuse to be part of a circle, and because of that, a lot of them basically became insane. They went crazy, and they would just harm anyone who they saw. So being an apostate in the past was kind of like, an insult. but also a lot of them were harmful, were dangerous. But now that there are no circles, I guess, most mages rebelled. They left their circles. Now every mage is an apostate. But these specific apostate mages in the hinterlands are basically they're out of their minds. They wanna they're seeking revenge against the Templars who abused them back into circles, but also anyone who just stand in their way. Ooh, a royal elf fruit. So they would hurt anyone who stands in their way. Oops! Wrong button. Sorry. I didn't mean to hurt the door. Okay. Let's check our equip. Okay, that's a bit too revealing. That it seems that that's for a Kunari. Let's see. I don't think we have anything to anything better than our vigorous defender mail that we crafted. Like I said, I refuse to use the DLC freebies. The dragon armor, long sword of the dragon, shield of the dragon. So unfortunately, we don't have much to choose from. Maybe the griffin shield there. That's slightly better. We are still in the beginning parts of the game. I made a mistake when I said tutorial, but we're still in the very beginning of the game, so we don't have much to choose from. We still need to loot a lot of corpses. I don't think I will be spending coins on the weapons for sale because we will be looting. Anyway. Let's just see if we can outfit Cassandra with better armor to help her. Maybe this one. Or maybe not. Let's see if Solus has anything to wear. Anything else to wear? Ooh, wow. He's showing a bit too much skin. He might get cold. Okay, sadly we don't have anything. There's no point in checking our equipment. With Varric, I refuse to equip him with anything else other than Bianca. But when it comes to armor, I'm definitely going to equip him with better stuff once we find some. A letter in an empty home. Rithis, I know you escaped with the other mages, and I know you'll come here. Father told me that if you ever strayed, he'd put you down himself. If you're here, you know he's dead. And I'm not. I'll be killing apostates and waiting for you at Old Phoenix Place to the north. I've got Father's sword and my true brothers in the Templars.
That
Come
may be worth
if you're man
investigating.
enough. Well, that is a very unfortunate family situation. Two brothers, I presume. One is a mage, one is a Templar, and the Templar brother is challenging his mage brother, who might have escaped from his circle. And that is probably common in these families in Thedas, where two siblings might go separate ways. One is a Templar, one is a mage, and because of the war, they are unfortunately going to harm each other. Okay. Where should we go next? This area is just sprawling. It definitely will take us so long to finish it. You know what some other people do is they just focus on the main quest and skip the side quests, and I think that's okay too.
Have you seen another Inquisition scout? Elven woman, answers to writs.
No.
You said your friend hasn't reported back.
Well, she was supposed to be checking on some apostates. I'm on duty here.
We'll
I'd
find
go
her.
look for her.
We'll find her, don't
I'll
worry.
talk to you later.
Yeah, I think that's one way to play. Any game, you can just focus on the main quest and skip the side quests, and that will be, of course, a faster experience. But for this one,
would make a good place to camp.
We do love exploring and trying to be some sort of a completionist. Here is our second camp. Ooh, but before that, let us loot. Jump, 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 jump. I do love the feeling of being able to settle each explorable map by setting up camps and stuff. Once established, Inquisition camps allow the party to rest, refill potions and stuff. We can also, I think we can change our party mates here, but since we don't like here, yes, but using that specific horn. Now we have prisoner cages, so unfortunately we don't have the locks for it. Any more requisitions? No? Okay. Let's choose which way to go. Probably there. I feel like the bulk of the if I remember correctly, like the bulk of the more important stuff, like the main quests, will be in the north and the northwestern parts of the hinterland. So let's go southeast. Ooh. Oh no. Who is he trying to attack? He was trying to attack the ghost. Hit. He has such a big shield compared to our shield. Oh well. Eventually we'll get better equipment. We are only still in the beginning stages, just level 4. Hit. Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear that these Templars and mages were unaliving. are like, they've gone too far. Like, there's no way to save them. I mean, we can't just plead them to see the light. We can't just tell them that, no, we're not gonna harm you, let us pass. Because the real Templars and the real mages, like the decent ones,
army has chosen to stay clear for now.
Okay, so that was the pause button. The control button on the keyboard is the pause button. Yeah, so the decent mages, the decent Templars, they're all gathered in a different place. And yeah, in 2 different places. These ones in the hinterlands, they're just the dangerous ones.
A Templar, I believe.
Ooh. Okay, we see a dead Templar here. Alendra, I don't know how this will reach you, but with the last strength of my shaking hands, what else could I do but write you? Whether it be the magic of this cursed breach, or the Maker punishing me for abandoning my vows, the end is coming. The terrors are with me more often than not. I came up here to try to find some peace with these believers, but the platitudes they mouth are cold comfort. If my mind falls to the demons or my own darkness, I fear that even a weakened Templar will cause too much harm. I took a draught of bitter herbs. It will be over soon. I wish my weakness had not stopped me from meeting you. With your phylactery, I knew just where you were, but the madness of your side and mine was too great a gap. Maker save you, stay safe. You need no circle. A phylactery is a vessel, often a glass vial, containing the essence of a magical being. The circle of magi, that's the circles, and the Chantry use small phylacteries filled with the blood, taken from an apprentice magi or mage, to track them. Before an apprentice passes his harrowing, his phylactery is kept at his home circle tower. Okay. For anyone but a member of the Chantry, tracking one down is all but impossible, quite literally like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So phylacteries are blood vials that helps the Chantry and Templars find mages. So I guess this Templar here is in or rather, when he was still alive, he was in a relationship with a mage, and he has her phylactery, and he wanted to go and be with her, but he also realized that, you know, if he might be in danger if he just went and found her with the other mages, because he is a Templar. So I guess in the end he got hurt and he perished.
They call you the Herald of Andraste for what you did at Haven. But are
Okay.
you? The Maker has not told me.
We can say that we believe we were chosen. We can keep up an act, I guess, so that you know, we can recruit more people. That way, I guess we can provide more people for the Inquisition. We can have more power so that we can seal the breach. So for now, we are just gonna choose this option. I believe I was chosen.
I am the Herald.
Oh, and Cassandra liked
And do you
that.
claim to hold power over the rifts the Maker has opened in the sky?
I can seal rifts, yes.
Then prove it. Show me that the rifts bend
Oops.
to your will, the will of the Maker.
Someone just printed.
Show me the power you wield.
This
Oh, they are a cult.
What are you doing out here? What is it you think is happening?
The Chantry has fallen, and shown its imperfection in doing so. The Chant of Light was a lie. It was arrogance to think that mortal lips could frame the Maker's will. And so we wait in silence.
Okay.
The Maker has opened the sky. Soon he will call his chosen back to the
So
Golden
are
City.
they worshipping the
Until the Maker brings you back
so they
to
think
us.
that the Maker was the one responsible for the breach, I guess. So they are in turn worshipping the breach.
Has torn open the sky.
I suppose it only natural that some would turn to worshipping the breach, if only in hopes of appeasing it.
Alrighty. Well, I think we've done a lot for today. Let us save here and we can continue our journey
There are Inquisition soldiers.
across the hinterlands in our next episode. We've done quite a lot today. We have finished exploring Haven, and we are now in our first explorable region, and we will definitely take our time to explore every single area and finish all of the quests, and that is our goal for the next episode. See you in the next one. Goodbye.